there are 2 points here. Either we do not know how mighty is the Himalaya, or no one is aware what is the size of the scam. The second thing is whether it is a scam at all. Forget about co-location. We are not discussing co-location. It is regarding this order that Mr. Barua has passed, where it is related to the governance failure. And I would say there is no doubt in mind of any rational person that it is a governance failure, period. And the person who is responsible for the governance failure, or the person who are responsible for the governance failure, must be put to the task, period. Now, coming to the question that you have asked, I would say that it depends upon what is the seriousness of issue. Now, when the mails were sent by SEBI, I do not know because I have not read the 190-page order, but I am presuming these mails were sent when Chitra was in the helm of the affairs, and this mail were not. So you can imagine, if a person is so arrogant or so dominant or so confident of herself that she doesn't take the board into confidence, she does everything that is there, then if she is not responding to emails of the SEBI, is, I think, no big deal. But then consequence of that, her not responding, has been faced by her. So I would say that let us not say, see, it is very easy for us to say this person did not do that, this person not. But let us see, in retrospect, everybody is Einstein. I can also discover relativity theory now. But way back, I would not have discovered. But again, the thing is very clear. In our country, we have a very typical culture. We are in the awe of the people. If you are very important, I will be very shy of asking question to you because I feel that I may be fool or I may be insulting you. That is the culture in the board also. In the board, people do not ask question because of the 2 reasons. One, either they will be exposed or they are insulting the person. And as Mr. Damodaran has brought out very clearly many things, he said that there is a failure of the regulatory officer or compliance officer in SEBI, that why it was not done. My counter argument will be that in our country, there are 4,000 and odd listed company, and every company has a compliance officer. How many board members or how many compliance officers in last 10 or 20 years have written anything to SEBI or anything? Except the 2 companies, Yes Bank and PTC Financial Services, where the independent directors have resigned. No independent director has ever talked about governance. Do we assume that the governance in all 4,000 companies is good? The answer is certainly no. The problem is that we have a situation where I am not appointed on a board because I am capable. I am appointed on the board because I am so and so, either so and so's son or so and so, so and so. The problem is we need people who have time, who have understanding. Just because I am JN Gupta running proxy advisory company doesn't mean that I am competent to become a board member. It is not. So the problem is, rather than looking for this thing, then other thing I would say that I have been very much disturbed over a period of last 10 days, hearing what is being said and what is said. Let us first understand, NSE, BSE, or for that member, any exchange in India are world class. The second thing, institutions and individuals are different. SEBI is an institution. If, say, for example, I was executive director in SEBI, I was bad, that doesn't make SEBI or its 800 employees bad. NSE is a national institution. It is a great institution. Let us ask question, has trading system of NSE been compromised? Margin system compromised? Risk management compromised? Nothing. It has had settlement all throughout last 12 years without any problem. The problem is we got to look in organization like a chariot. A chariot is a passive. It doesn't move on its own. It needs a horse. It needs a horseman. In a simile, the horse is the managing director or the management. The horseman is the board. Now, if the horseman and horse both are not functioning, why you blame chariot? So today, the old horseman and horse both have bolted. Now you have got new horse or new horseman. Let us look at the chariot today. The other important aspect, that when this thing happened, what was SEBI issue? Should it take corrective action or should it pass the order? So the corrective action was taken as soon as possible. Chitra was removed and other people were taken care. Board was changed, and NSE, I don't know what happened, but as NSE would have taken all the measures that were required to improve the governance. The second thing I would say, whatever system you may design, whatever expertise you may have, but a system's integrity will be sum total of the integrity of the person manning the system. So if you have the best system designed by the God also, but if I am the pujari in a temple who is a thief, there will be theft in the temple. So you can't stop it. So you can minimize it by supervision and something. And there have been instances where all possible things have happened. But I would again say, I am not here to give clean chit to NSE, SEBI or anybody. But I am telling you, let us not paint everything black. Indian stock exchanges are, in my opinion, probably the best in the world. It's a great institution. Let us not malign the institution. Let us malign the people who are responsible.
That's taken very well, Mr. Gupta. Indian stock exchanges and Indian stock markets are up there. But my point is, do we have a regulator who is doing his policing job well enough? You're saying that corrective action was taken. But I want to ask you one question. In this order that Mr. Barua has put out, there is a part which says that the laptops of Chitra Ramakrishna and Anand Subramaniam were disposed of by the NSE as e-waste. Now, this is nothing but destruction of evidence. It's a culpable offense under the Criminal Procedure Code, as you know. So how has SEBI accepted this? SEBI should have lodged a complaint and proceeded on this further. So this is the nitty-gritties, but the larger question I want to know is, SEBI a watchdog that neither barks nor bites?
I think you got to ask the question to the person who have been bitten by SEBI, not by me or anybody else, because there are hundreds of people who have been very well bitten by SEBI. But I would say the problem is, you got to, Raghu, I will give you a very simple example. In this country, in my opinion, the biggest problem is our judicial system. And I will give you a very simple example. Recently, there was a case of PNB Housing Finance, where the issue was that whether articles of association are important or not. The two retired High Court judges could not come to the conclusion whether they are important or not on the face of it, when they had Supreme Court order which said that articles of association are bedrock of company management. So if they cannot do, then SEBI people are also human beings. They are not God.